You know when people say if you could have one superpower, what would it be? My
Mm-hmm.
superpowers would be to know every language in the planet. So like be able to read and write and talk in every like language in the world. How crazy would that be?
That's a lot though.
I mean, it
But that's
is.
not like something that's impossible to learn, I'd say.
I mean,
You
but that's
just
why
take
it's a
like
superpower.
basically your entire lifetime. Hey guys, it's me Keyshawn and I'm here with Raj and welcome back to the MindSet podcast. Today is Fan Topic Friday and we're going to be talking about traveling and like because for lack of better words, the mindset that people have when traveling, like what you go there for and like the benefits of traveling, basically anything and everything that entails traveling and what it does for people. But yeah, be sure to follow us on all of our socials. We post on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We also upload our podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. If you leave a review on Apple Podcasts, we will shout you out, and it helps us get better at what we're trying to do for you guys. But yeah, Raj, what do you think about traveling? What is traveling to you? What does it do for you?
Well, you know what? Traveling, so I didn't think we traveled much, but in terms of like when I talk to people, I think we traveled quite a bit, especially because I went to England and Amsterdam in like November-ish, I think, around December time, like early December, and like there's people that's never even been to Europe. Obviously, I've been to India and Europe. Um, Surprisingly, I've been to more countries like out of the U.S. than states in the U.S. If that makes sense. Because like I've only been to like Chicago here.
What about like
and,
Washington
like,
D.C.?
Pennsylvania. No, I've never been
interesting.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really cared to go to Washington D.C. But if you're telling me to go to Europe, I'm like
100%. I know you've
obviously
been
a lot more
to
expensive.
Amsterdam, right? So there's that,
Yes.
and then also England. Well, England
Yeah.
was still a part of Europe.
Yeah, which is I don't know if they fully like did they like fully
I have
pull
no idea,
out
honestly.
of Europe? I don't
I'd be
even
the
know.
last person to know that, honestly.
Yeah. All I know is Brexit was happening for like a very long time before they like decided.
Yeah, but so we have traveled a lot. You probably, actually, I'd say us about equal, to be honest.
Yeah, because you went to New Zealand, I
Yeah.
didn't. I went to Amsterdam, you didn't.
And then we've both
So,
been to England.
I think it
Yeah.
evens out. Yeah, and we both went at the same time, so I guess it evens out in terms of like how many times. But like for me, I don't know. Traveling, like you learn so much about like
Different
like,
cultures.
different cultures, the way people live, other countries. Maybe not so much in England, because England is very similar to US in terms of like, and even then,
Yeah,
it's
you
different.
could say it's similar, but
You
like
know,
you've
like-
been there. Like look, we're okay. So right now, for anyone watching on the video version, we're looking at someone walking through Japan, specifically Fukuoka, I think Rod said, and
Yep.
we're looking at the roads right now, and they're super like small, or like they're not really like wide compared to like roads in the US. And even in England, when we went there, we noticed that roads were just a bit bigger than this, but they were also very thin. Like there's no way I could expect an American car to pass through here with another car passing by it.
Yeah.
I feel like it would just either you'd have to scrape one side or something like that, right? It's just like insane.
Yeah, definitely not two cars, like a two-way thing.
But yeah, so it is different, even though it's very similar to like the lifestyle of the US. I don't know if any viewers want to talk about like what it's like for them in other countries, because I know that we do have quite a few viewers from all over the podcast. If you guys want to leave it in the comment down below or something.
So Fabro just said something crazy that I didn't think was I didn't know it's a crazy stat to me. He said only about 45% of Americans even have a passport, which means they travel even less out of the country, which is kind of crazy. Only like about 45, less than half the country has a passport. Well, which makes sense why everyone leaves. I mean, not right now. Like right now, this whole thing came up. Why? If you're wondering why this whole thing came up, it came up because we were just talking about KP, how he has to go back to Florida for school. And I was like, dude, like that sucks. And then I was like, I want to travel though. And then we were talking about England. I was like, dude, we can't even go there right now. Cause like I think there was like a map that I saw yesterday, and like all the countries that we're not allowed in right now are red. and like a majority of the countries in the world are red, which means like we can't.
Yeah,
go.
and I think the statistic is around like 5% of not even. I know there was one country in North Africa that we could go to, one country that's bordering between like the beginning of like the Arabian Peninsula and Europe. I think that specific area is Turkey. I'm not entirely sure, but over there,
Yeah.
and like then we can go to Mexico as well. But I don't know
Yeah,
if- yeah. So like that's just a neighboring country though. So there's not much that we
Yeah,
can actually
but
go
I
to.
don't
I think
know.
it's less than like 1% of the world in terms of countries.
yeah, which sucks because like I love traveling. So me and Gunz are actually making plans to go to Germany this year, around like October time, so in a couple months
Yeah.
probably. Well, September, because I think Oktoberfest is in September. As weird as that is, I think that's how it works. So we were trying to go there because we went to Amsterdam last year, and like as fun as Amsterdam was, so for some reason, like every time we talk to somebody, they're like, "Oh, you gotta go to Germany. You gotta go to Germany." I'm like, you know what? I want to go to Germany. I think that would be fun. And like watching, I think a primary reason is because we watch so much soccer in like different countries as well. So I want to go see like games. So I want to go see a Bayern Munich game. I want to go to Dortmund and watch a Borussia Dortmund game. You know, like or even in France, I want to go watch a
Yeah,
PSG
there's
game.
lots of places.
That's like a dream.
Europe has so many different countries that I'd like to visit. Like just naming them off: Spain, Portugal, France, Germany, Italy, Austria. There's Belgium, Netherlands, England, obviously. But I also want to check out like Ireland properly, as well as like Scotland properly, and like the Wales properly, right? So the entirety of like UK. I think we've been to a decent amount of England itself, so maybe not that one too much, but like even like Norway, Sweden, like the ones up north, I think those are also amazing places. I know a couple of friends in like Belgium, Netherlands, and even Denmark, so like it's cool because like just seeing how different it is for them, because like I've like Skype and like FaceTime with them before, and like seeing what they do day to day, like they walk to the nearest convenience store to like get groceries or something like that, or like even when I went to New Zealand during my freshman year of college, and we were living day to day. We never had like, you know, my family right now, or like I'd say most families over here, for us, we have food and that would last like probably 2 or 3 days, right, from like leftovers. And for people in New Zealand, it wasn't like that. It was like you'd go to the grocery store in the morning, get something that you wanted just for that morning, and then later at
like
night
every day you would go.
Yeah, every day. It was so like, you know, minimalistic. You'd open their fridge, there'd be nothing there. Maybe like a gallon of water and a gallon of milk. That's it. Yeah.
I mean, we like we did that when we go to England, or when me and Gunj were in Amsterdam. Obviously we didn't buy food for like the only thing we had in the apartment was water, and even that, like, very less of it. So like every morning we would get breakfast, and then we wouldn't come back to the place till like 3 o'clock in the morning. So like we would eat out essentially every single day, right? So I just thought that was because we were like tourists. I didn't know that's how people actually lived. Well, you went in New Zealand, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean so the thing is, okay, so let's get into this cultural stuff, right? New Zealand is an island, right? And the term, when I went there talking to my friend about it, he called them like that type of lifestyle is called like islander lifestyle, right? Where people are, I'm guessing because there's nowhere else to really go, everything is sort of near you because you're on a small island in the first place. So your local convenience store has like everything fresh, like cotton, all that. It's not like the US, which is so big and everything is shipped across the country, or like tomatoes are shipped across the country with like chemicals and all that stuff. Because like, I don't know if you've ever taken a tomato, but if you put it in water after you got it from the store, you can see that oil is coming off of it, because that's like the chemicals and all that stuff. So their items that they have over there are more fresh, and I feel like that's why they're like almost used to that, where there's no need to get something and hold on to it and wait and like just sort of like stock up on it. They just get everything day to day, and that's just their type.
That makes
of
a lot of
culture.
sense.
And that's the thing that you like
Also,
learn
I mean,
when you're going traveling, right?
yeah, I mean, one
You,
thing that as funny as it is, when
mhm.
we went to Europe, like when me and Gunj used to walk around England,
Yeah,
and go to like stores there, they'd be like, "Oh, you're from America?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Dude, I heard all Americans are fat. Like, why aren't you guys fat?" And it's just like,
yeah.
wait,
Oh
like, is that
man,
really your perception of us? Like, and they're like, "Yeah, we thought you guys eat like McDonald's every day," and like, I'm like, is that really the perception of how? And then I really thought about it, right? So like in England, for example, where
yeah,
we stayed, in Luton, it's just like there's obviously McDonald's because McDonald's is all
yeah,
around the world, but there's very few actual like fast food restaurants. Like there's not much franchising there. It's mostly like local
yeah.
shops that
Which
you
I
can
think is
go to and
amazing,
have like,
absolutely amazing.
yeah. So that's like a major key difference I noticed. And even in Amsterdam, when I went to Amsterdam, there was not many. Um, like we would see like a convenience stores are everywhere, but we rarely saw McDonald's or anything like that, obviously because they're like American
Yeah,
corporations, right? But there was a lot of places that was like just its own, like a one place restaurant or a one place bar. Or like we went to this, it was like a giant tent, right? But the tent was like a wooden tent, like huge wooden
hmm,
tent, and inside were food carts all the way through. There must have been, in the whole thing, it was like a rectangular shape, and on the outsides it was food carts, probably about 30 food carts. And like you can try different food from everywhere.
that
Be like some hot dogs, some have
honestly,
pizza,
hot dogs
and
from
like
Germany
all
were the
different
best
kinds
hot
of
dogs
food.
that I've ever had. You know how we went to England and we had hot dogs from a stand over there in London? I
Mhm.
went to Germany and well, just at the airport, it was like overpriced as hell. But like I had a hot dog from there, and oh my god, I can't. I don't think I could ever have like a hot dog from here ever again, just because there's just so much more like authentic. I guess I don't know.
Mhm. I mean, that's just like the thing in general. Like, in terms of, well, when I'm talking in terms of food, it was just like a lot more authentic things there, and I feel like a lot more processed restaurants here, like
Yeah, that would
fast
make
food,
more sense
obviously.
though. I can see
So
why.
like that's one of the
Do you
major
think it's
key differences
because
I've
we
seen.
have a bigger country, like in terms of just like raw size?
I mean, that and like corporations rule everything here, right? Like obviously you could have your own small business, but it's better to like franchise a freaking McDonald's and open it up. Obviously very expensive, but like that's how it is, right? So I think a lot more of that. And in England or in Europe in general, a lot less franchising happens. Obviously there's a lot of like Nando's is everywhere,
Mhm.
McDonald's, or as they call it, Mackey's, is everywhere. As I even said, there's more spread out restaurants by me. There's a bar, restaurant, pub, a lot of pubs, which is pretty cool to me because pubs are like, they have food and they have drinks,
Yeah.
but there's no like, well, as far as I seen there, I could be wrong, but I feel like we've been there a total of what, close to 6 months probably
Yeah,
in total,
probably.
if you combine like all our vacations
Mhm.
there. I haven't seen like a franchise pub, like one pub that you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
like
this pub's
I
in
guess my
like
best example would
London
be
and Liverpool and
yeah, my best example would be like Bar Louie. I think that's opening up near us, right?
yeah. I mean, it
Oh,
it shut down
oh,
now, but
okay.
yeah.
But I know when I'm back in Florida, it's literally underneath my building. So that
Yeah.
place is, I'm guessing,
So
all
that's like a
over.
pub here, I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah. It's like a pub, but
the
it's
equivalent
like
of a pub.
franchised,
Yeah,
obviously.
same
Yeah, so
thing.
there's not much stuff there.
Even like diners, like Denny's, or what other diners are
Well,
there
see,
that are like?
Denny's, yeah, but see, New Jersey's like famous for their diners,
Oh,
right? So
really?
there's so many diners in New Jersey. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Really? How
I
have you
thought
just
diners are
That's
just like
crazy.
everywhere.
Nah, I mean, diners are everywhere, but there's a lot of diners here, and it's just like there's so many. There's like a diner that I know in Colonia. There's one by your
Okay.
house. There's two by your house actually. There's like in like this small vicinity. There's like 4 or 5 diners where they're the only ones. So like that, it would be more like that, but not on a scale like a diner, because diner's like a gigantic place,
Yeah.
right? So I guess that's the difference with food. The difference I noticed with like, so traveling is an obvious difference, is that when you're traveling from country to country in Europe, countries are a lot smaller and they're a lot closer. So like we were in England, and we took a plane to Amsterdam, which took about an hour and something, like hour
Which
and
is
15
nothing.
maybe, and it was like
Yeah.
60. It was like $60.
Oh, that's nothing. Oh
So we
my
spent
God.
$60, and like we went from England to Amsterdam. We chilled there for like 3-4 days and came back. And it was just like, you can't do that here, obviously, because like there's not different countries. But the thing I love about Europe is that although the countries are smaller, each country is very different from each other, right? Like Amsterdam is similar to England, but it's
Yeah,
not the
okay.
same. We almost went to Belgium. You could take a train to Belgium from there, and we almost did it. If we had an extra day, we were probably gonna do it. But Belgium is also very different from Amsterdam. So like, it's like a bunch of different cultures in like a very confined space or like concentrated area. You
Yeah.
know, like if you go to Spain, it's very different. Portugal is very different to England, obviously, because it's just different climates. Fabra said Amsterdam is tons of fun. Yeah, I don't know. It was like, Amsterdam is crazy in the fact that it's like everyone was partying at all times of the day. Like it was like a Wednesday afternoon, and if you went to like a pub there, it would be packed, and people would be just having fun in the middle of the workday, or in the middle of the day. It's just so different. And then like I was talking to, obviously we meet some people, so we met like this really cool group of people from South Africa who came to Amsterdam to chill. So we chilled with them the whole time, but they were just telling us about South Africa and Amsterdam, and they're like, dude, this is so sick. Was it during the summer though? Yeah, it was. No, it was around like October, November time. So it was like freezing there. We had to wear like, you know what we thought? So we're like, dude, American winters are so cold in New Jersey, we don't have to worry about like wearing jackets and stuff. Then we went to Amsterdam, and we were literally freezing after the first day. We had to like buy jackets. It was terrible. I did not think it was gonna be that cold there, but it's freezing. But like it's like a bunch of nice spots to hang out, all within like a very close radius, which I guess we kind of have that here with different states. But even with different states, the culture is the same.
Yeah,
if
I
that makes
agree.
sense. Or
I agree.
very similar. All the culture is very similar. Maybe like if you go down to like Alabama, like obviously the food is gonna be different. People have different accents, but like overall the culture is like pretty similar to what you can get here, right? If you go from England to Germany,
It's so different.
you're like
Even
in a
like
different,
just like
you're in a different world.
structures and like stuff like that. Like Germany has different ways of buildings, or building buildings, I guess. And like England has its own way. Like you could see like the type of, I'm gonna say houses. I don't know if that's what you'd actually call them. If they're like, you know what I mean? Like England's houses have like sort of houses that are connected to each other, right? So
well, I mean, we call them townhouses. I don't know what they call them.
Yeah, so like
Here
they
they're
have that,
townhouses.
and then like Germany has its own. I'm gonna say, I don't even know because I've never been there, right? So I can't say. But you see pictures of that stuff, and it's super different from what you see over here. Like houses over here are completely different.
You know,
and just like,
you know what's so funny?
This,
What's so funny is when we got to Amsterdam, obviously we were in the main airport. I took a picture with that famous Amsterdam sign that's like half red, half white. And then we hopped on a bus because we got instructions from our Airbnb guide saying this is how you get here, right? So we're like, okay, so take this bus. I was like, oh, it looks kind of easy. We hopped on the bus all with our bags, like full backpacks, like everything straight tourist looking, right off the airport. And then the bus is kind of empty. I was like, wow, nobody's really going to the city today from the airport. That's kind of weird. And maybe because we were on the wrong bus. We literally went like 45 minutes in the other direction, and then we got off and we were in like a super like neighborhood area, like completely outside the city, like 30 minutes outside the city, and it just looked like the nicest little town. Like obviously I wish I could have stayed there and like kind of explored, but we were like lost, and obviously we
first
didn't know what we were
first
doing.
day lost in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Amazing. And not
First
even
first
Amsterdam,
thing we
but,
did.
like, you know, amazing.
But it was pretty funny. But like it's a great like little spot, and it's so crazy because it's so different from the actual city.
Yeah.
It was like a super rural.
What do you think? Okay, so this is a question to everyone that's watching and just everyone that's listening as well. What do you think people travel for though? Because there's like different reasons to travel. Like I'll explain my reason to travel. Like we said, I'm all about like learning about other people's cultures. I'd like to see what other people are like. Like my experience going to New Zealand was probably the most eye-opening thing for me, along with years after, when I went to England and then India, right? Even though I've been to England when I was like 14 and 17, um, going to England again after that while I was over the age of 18 was pretty eye-opening, just because of like everything that I did there and like the way that people spoke to me and how I sort of took in the information. Same thing, like when I went to India, I was able to like truly see what people were doing day to day and sort of live in that culture. Because I wasn't that like spoiled brat. I'm gonna say it. I was a spoiled brat, you know, that sort of took advantage of everything that I could have. Like my parents were like, "Oh, do you want to go eat out from this place?" I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go eat out," because I wouldn't want to eat anything else. But being older, you sort of have to like own up to it, right? And I sort of picked up on that Indian culture that I never really had inside myself, even though I am Indian. So culture to me is the biggest thing for traveling. What about you, Raj?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big food guy, so
Okay.
I love to try different foods. Like, we went to Amsterdam, we tried this, like, I forgot the name of it, but it's like a waffle. It's gonna kill me now. It's like a waffle, but inside the waffle has like caramel, and like they warm it up. Oh my god, it was like the best thing, and it's like €1 for one of them. It's like Stroop waffle. There we go. Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. That was like the best thing I ever tried. It was so good, and like just food in general. So like you know, I don't really like, I mean, like we like follow. I'm not saying we're not religious, but like I don't say like we can't eat beef or we don't eat pork or anything. If I want to eat something, I'll try it.
Yeah.
Right? So like just trying like the different ways they make a burger there, or like the different hot dogs, the way they cook is so different from here, but it tastes so good in terms of like the food. So I love trying food from different places. And Fabrab also said you should try he recommends Lisbon in Portugal. It's cheap and fun. What's so funny is I had a friend, the same time I was in Amsterdam, I had a friend in Lisbon, and they were like, dude, you should just come hop on a flight to Lisbon. And if we didn't already book Amsterdam, we were probably gonna go to Lisbon. But it's just like, it's so cool that they're close enough to just be like, yeah, I might come there.
Even like
Lisbon is up there
during like these special like event holidays. Like I know in Spain they have some day where like something with tomatoes. I'm super uneducated on this type of stuff. But like everyone's sort of like
tomatoes.
Everyone basically gets painted red at that point, right? And like they fill the streets with tomatoes, and like they're like all squashed and stuff. I don't know what it entirely is, but like imagine going at that specific time or around that specific time, and like you actually see all of that happen. Like, let's say you're talking, like you're there with like a friend or something that actually understands like the culture, and like you ask them, and like you sort of learn about that stuff, and it's like more eye-opening to you, really. Yeah. So
and I mean, just like overall, I think it just helps you. Yeah. With your like, not mentality, but like the way you see things.
Yeah, the way you approach life after that.
How they live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as an American, really, like you're so confined to like one sort of set way of living, which is like people going to work, coming back, having dinner, right? Stuff like that. And obviously there is culture here and stuff like that, but I feel like there's just so much more in these other countries. Because of just like
I could see that,
how much history there is behind it, you know?
Yeah,
because
I agree too.
North America for Americans technically was discovered in like 1600, so like it's from that point on. So other countries have years, like hundreds of years more than what
before us
we have.
I agree.
But
it's just like it's a different way of living, and like I guess it's not gonna change you, but it helps you like think in a different way. I don't even know how to explain it, but like you need to go to see what I mean. Like once you go there, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Alien said, off topic, would you rather have Pulisic or Jesus in your team? I'm thinking you're talking about Gabriel Jesus, who plays for Man City. I'd probably have Pulisic because he's Captain America and I can't go against him, so I would probably have him.
Amazing. And
Jesus is in a super team, so is he really good? Who knows? He's just in a good team.
True.
But let's explain why we're showing this video.
Okay.
So this is from Japan. So I don't know about you, but for me, going to Japan has been like one of the biggest dreams I've ever had. Like, I want to go to Japan
Yeah,
so
without a
bad.
doubt.
And like, I'll show like some videos because obviously I have this like, I literally follow an account on TikTok that this is a guy that lives in Japan, and he just makes like videos from Japan and then post them online. And like, they're super simple. They just show like the neighborhood, but there's just like something it does, like something I love about it. Also, I feel like that has to do with the fact that we watch a lot of anime because we're complete weebs.
Okay.
So obviously I want to.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to visit a country because, like, we don't even. I don't know. I don't watch any like German shows, but I still want to go to like Germany. I
mean,
don't watch
yeah.
any Italian shows.
Yeah, I feel
Still
like I want
wanna
to
check
go
out
to
Italy.
Germany because I watch soccer though. Like, I feel like everything has
Yeah,
a
but I
reason
don't-
for me. Like, if I want to go somewhere, it's because of something. So like for me, I want to go to Germany and Portugal and Spain because I watch soccer and I want to go watch. Obviously, we'll do other things, not just strictly soccer, but that's like the biggest
Yeah.
driving factor for me.
For me, I guess it's just like I said before, the culture behind it. I'd like to see what it's like to be in like, I don't know, Venice, Italy. You know, the waterways and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Everyone talks about that,
Yeah.
and what you see on movies or in movies and like on Google Images and all that stuff, it just looks so beautiful. And I'm pretty sure it's nothing short of that. Like, it's not like when you go to the beach, right? Or you see pictures of the beach and then you come up to the beaches in New Jersey and it's like murky water, right? It's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it actually lives up to its name, and that's what people are there for. It's just an amazing thing.
Yeah.
So those are my reasons behind it. What do you think are reasons for like most travelers? Like, because you have your own thing, which is, I guess, soccer, food, just seeing what the other world is like, and then my reasons like culture and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think is the reason for people, like, why would a person go to Paris?
I mean, there could be a lot of reasons.
Typically.
So Paris is a big fashion
Yeah.
place, right? Like, a lot of fashion brands are from Paris. So say you're super into fashion, like, you might want to go to Paris. You would want to go, but I
So
don't
what
know.
about the general person that travels, like not like day to day, but like I'm gonna say year to year, you
Mhm.
know, like a person that goes to some different named location
I feel like it could just be like
yearly.
So like, assuming that you're working like 9 to 5, 5 days a week, right? So if you
Yeah.
take a vacation for like 2 weeks, you don't want to stay like, I don't know, personally, like I wouldn't want to stay where I am, you know, like you might as well go check out a different country, have fun there, relax. So I feel like a lot of the times it's someone that's like trying to just go on vacation and check it out. Also, right now, you're not gonna see it, but I'm showing like a video of this person
Yeah.
on TikTok, and this person literally just walks around Japan and just shows like the scenery, which is crazy because like it's one city, but like every TikTok is insanely nice. Like the way they show it, I think let me just I did send it to you on Discord if you want to show it.
Okay, I can pull it up.
Yeah, so pull it up and then go through like you could literally just click on his account and go through all the videos. You don't have to go through all of them, but like just click on any of the videos, and I think it's like insane. Like the way you could just like, there's one with the escalator. To me, that's the coolest. It's like the second video, or it's the one that I sent you pretty much.
So this is what it looks like.
Yeah, so this is like
Wow,
an
it looks
escalator.
amazing. Oh
Yeah,
my
and
god.
it's like in the middle of Tokyo, and like I want to go here. This is incredible. I just never seen
this-
anything like it.
I wouldn't just want to go to Tokyo. I mean, obviously you probably don't either, but like I want to check out like the rural areas.
Yeah, I hate
of,
that word.
like,
It's okay. I hate
Japan.
it too. No, if you go to like Kyoto, I mean, just click on his
Yeah.
profile. You'll see like a couple places of like where he's like in the city. I mean, not in the city, in like his neighborhood, and not in like main Tokyo. And like you can see like maybe this is one of them. Just start clicking through them. You'll see like different like places. This is back in Tokyo, but like see like this is in like a like what is that train? It's the craziest thing I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
hovering above all the cars and
like
stuff. Just-
this is so different. You would never see this or something like this here. This is the escalator again.
these type of areas are just so nice to me.
Yeah,
where
this is like-
it's sort of like
This
sort
is
of like
what
a
I saw
road, but then a
first.
walking path as well.
Yeah, this is what I saw first, where I was like, dude, I need to go there. After seeing that, I'm like, that's so like different from here. that it's like, and like I'm not a big fan of like super congested areas, but like even though the buildings are like side by side and the road is small, everything, I still want to like live here and see
I
what
would
it's
too.
like.
I wouldn't mind going to a different country to live for like maybe 2 years or 3 years.
Yeah.
I feel like it would just be some, like I said, a valuable experience that
Yeah,
you learn
and it
from.
takes skill to like kind of adapt, you know? Like it's easy to stay. It takes you out of your comfort zone,
Damn,
essentially.
you're always about that skill level, huh,
Okay,
Raj?
yeah, here we go. Life's a video game. You gotta keep getting the. No, I'm just kidding. But like, it takes you like out of your comfort zone, right? Like you're not used to it. Like when we went to Amsterdam, like nothing's in English there. Like they don't expect you. Like you shouldn't expect it, obviously, to be in English. But like everything's in Dutch. So like I had to like learn a little bit of Dutch. It was like kind of crazy because like I didn't know what I was reading. I didn't know what I was like, where I was going for like 90% of it. But like we figured it out. It wasn't too bad. I think this is my favorite one, the one with the snow.
Oh,
That's just like crazy.
I didn't think that it actually snowed in Japan. Not
Oh
gonna
my
lie.
God, you're crazy.
I know in places like Hokkaido, I think,
Mm-hmm.
which are more. I don't even know. I'm not good with like other countries in terms of like cities and stuff like that. I feel like Hokkaido is more south, maybe.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Okay.
But yeah,
I just know certain places.
I've been trying to do this thing where we all go to Japan together. How sick do you think it would be? Obviously,
I would like to go.
It's very
to Japan,
hard.
2021. 2021. I'm graduating. I'm like.
I'm 100%
Regardless,
down.
I think I'm just gonna go to Japan.
No. I'm saying that
Like,
I'm gonna go anyway. Like regardless. Like even if no one's down, I'm
Yeah.
going. But the thing is, I'm trying to
I'm
get.
just gonna go.
Imagine if like, how many of us there are there? Like 15.
Yeah. If we could
Imagine
get
like
all 15,
imagine
that
like
would
15
actually
of
be
us
insane, but
would go to Japan together. Like how crazy would that be? Even if it's just for like a week, 2 weeks, right? Even 2 weeks is kind of
so
rough when
you
people are
say
leaving.
you say Japan is your dream destination to go to
Oh,
right
easily.
now.
I mean, even after I go there, I think it's gonna stay it. Do you even know Japanese? You know what? I've been trying to. So what's so funny is because I watch so much anime, I kind of know Japanese. Like you pick up on things.
You pick up on words, yes.
But I've been watching videos on how to speak in Japanese and like understand it, and it's so crazy how their language is structured. It's all like structured around vowels. So like a letter will always be accompanied by a vowel. So go ahead and take up a name like Naruto, right? Naruto, right? And like that's just how
certain
they
things.
talk.
There's certain not vowels. I don't even know what they would be called, but it's just like a single consonant. Like
Yeah,
the
but that's like the
letter T.
basis of their language. So vowels are like the basis of the Japanese language, and all words created in Japanese are like stemmed off of that vowel. Obviously, there's some words that so like if they take an American word and they put it in the Japanese language, it's not gonna always be the case. But like 90% of the words are like stemmed off of a vowel. And if you like just look at like Japanese like writings, well, we can't really read it, but if you listen to someone talking, you will see that like it's all based off of vowels, and it's kind of nuts. Even the writing, there's like 3 different kinds. They also use Chinese letters in a lot of their words, which I didn't
did not
know.
know this.
Yeah, it's like a 4-hour video. I'm like an hour and a half into it. It's
I
kind
know
of
that they like you were saying about vowels. Like I can give a couple of examples, like the word daijobu, right? Dai, D-A-I, and then jo, J-O-U, and then bu, B-U, I think. So like everything is, like you said, accompanied by a vowel, and that's just how they speak.
Yeah.
And that's not like the only word. I think I'm trying to.
I mean, you think of any like Japanese word you can think of. 90% of the time,
yeah,
it's
arigato.
like, yeah, see, like all vowels, or like if you say baka, which means stupid, like B-A-K-A, like it's just how they speak. So it's kind of crazy how their language is structured. So I do want to learn. You know when people say if you could have one superpower, what would it be? My superpowers would be to know every language in the planet. So like be able to read and write and talk in every like language in the world. How crazy would that be?
That's a lot though.
I mean, it
But that's
is.
not like something that's impossible to learn, I'd say.
I mean,
You
but that's
just
why
take
it's a
like
superpower.
basically your entire lifetime.
Yeah, probably more. But like, that's why it's a superpower. I think. Like, if
Yeah,
you
I
can do
guess
that,
so.
you're like literally have a superpower. If you could know every language in the world.
It's just
I don't know.
amazing.
That's my goal, though. What's your dream vacation?
My dream vacation, I going to Japan without a doubt. But like it's not just like going to, I'd say maybe spend time in like big cities like Tokyo or Kyoto and other I'm trying to think. There's a specific city that's or place that's like meant for anime people.
Yeah, I know
That's
what you're talking about. They even
I
have like
forgot
they even
the
have like a One Piece theme park and like a Naruto, like
yeah,
they
they
have
have
like the Naruto to Hokage mountain somewhere.
so like
It's kind of
maybe
crazy.
spend like maybe 2 days at max in those areas. But my main goal would be to go to like a small neighborhood or like a small like isolated area on the outskirts of places, maybe up a mountain and just chill there.
Yeah,
Really
yeah. I think Kyoto
admire
would be
what's
the
like
place we would go. From what I've seen, Kyoto's like insane, or it's just like that. If you're not really into like the city vibe, you go there.
Mhm.
But I'm into both. Like I'm down
Yeah.
to see any of it. So I don't know. And like the architecture there is so sick to me. If you look at the buildings and even like the writing, it's so aesthetically pleasing.
I love seeing how their buildings are sort of placed on higher levels, and there's so many other places like sort of my best example and or comparison would be how houses were structured in Jersey City,
Yeah.
where it was sort of just like built up on top of the hill, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't try to like do anything. They just went along with it and they just followed the natural like landscape that was there for them.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see that when they're like walking down specific like areas, you can see that the houses are going downward or the road is going upward just
Yeah,
because
like it
that's
wasn't
how the
flattened.
land was.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless it's a city, which cities do like typically have a flat look, you know. But all that stuff I just think is amazing. It's just how their I don't know, structures are.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
just
really
like
beautiful.
it's literally like a dream place or dream vacation, and I think we should plan it. Obviously, this whole COVID thing didn't help, but
Yeah.
we should plan a huge vacation to Japan. Whether it be like obviously I don't care if it's next year or like the year after, but we should do it when everyone graduates. Once everyone's done with school, and we should just go to like Japan for like 2 weeks and just chill. Cause like I don't know, I feel like that would be the wave, and like have like no plans. That's the best way to do it. Like when we went to Amsterdam, we had no plan. I didn't know what we were gonna do in Amsterdam. We didn't like plan it out. Like, you know, there's a lot of people that like plan stuff out. Like, oh, at this day on this time we're gonna do this. At this time we're gonna do this. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of just like going to a place and then just like walking around and seeing what we could do. You know? I don't know. That's the way I like to travel.
Yeah, I agree. It lets you get more like in tune of what there is, because if you're sort of going there for, and this isn't something that I don't want to like look down on. Like if you're going there just to see like, oh, landmarks or like places that typically everyone goes to, I don't feel like you're truly learning anything. Like, you know, when we went to England and like we went to Big Ben or like the London
Yeah,
Eye, which I
yeah.
guess, you know, looks nice, it's great and all that,
Yeah.
but
It
it's
just
not
felt like
like
another
when
city
we were
to me,
going
though.
to, yeah, it wasn't like when we were going to Scotland and climbing up that mountain, or
Yeah,
like
that was
when we went to
when we went cave diving in Wales.
Wales.
That was like
Yeah, like all that type of stuff.
yeah.
It's completely different.
Yeah, cave diving was like the craziest thing I've ever done in my life, I think. I still think to this day
Even simple
that
things.
it wasn't safe.
Yeah,
I don't think it was safe.
yeah, no, without a doubt.
Like it was
But like
not.
even the simple things, like when we went to Watford to play Top Golf,
Yeah.
like it's the culture there and like the way that people act there, that you interact with those type of people and you see exactly what the difference is.
Yeah. See, like the crazy thing, if you're
Yeah.
watching like the video version, like this guy's just like walking through a regular neighborhood, but to me it's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so nice to me. Like I would want to just walk around. I could walk around here for like probably all day long and just like walk and just check things out. Like that's the best way to travel, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or that's my way to travel. Almost like backpacking. Like I want to try backpacking through Europe. I think that'd be fun.
That'd be very tough.
Yeah, the thing is like if you are backpacking though, you have to follow like a strict schedule kind of. Because like you have to do this, you have to go there, take this bus, so like I don't think it would be as fun as just kind of just like going. But yeah, that's the move. I think Japan is the next move. What do you think?
I agree. 2021 Japan. Hopefully.
Well, you're
COVID
saying
allowed.
2021, but I think it's gonna be about 2022 by the time we're even allowed places again. So.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough, but I think that's how it's gonna be. So, 2022, mark it down. We're going to Japan. You're gonna see a Japan vlog. How about that?
Japan vlog on the MindSet podcast.
By 2022, I want to be big enough so we could have vlogs. How sick would that? Nah, I don't want to vlog, but we could do like a travel podcast. We like remember when we were talking about going to Japan? We're here now,
and we could. We could reiterate the topic and be like, this is what we learned and this is why we think traveling is amazing.
Yeah, that'd be sick, imagine.
But again, I would strongly encourage anyone that can travel to travel, just because it teaches you a lot more than you might think. And it's just overall a great experience for you. Whether you learn something or not, you do get to see at least like what other life is like, you know?
Yeah.
You open your eyes to the world a bit more, and that type of knowledge is better to have.
The way people are acting right now in like the world leaders and stuff, like the country leaders, maybe they should travel too, to see how other people live, and they would understand like different perspectives. I don't know. Just a thought.
But yeah. Anyway, I think that is it, Raj?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah?
Goon said he's gonna start vlogging, and I'm down to see that, Goon. I think you would be an awesome person to vlog. I'm just putting that out there.
Goon has done a stream before where he's done like an IRL stream where he's shown his like place and stuff like that. But
I think those are sick.
It's very funny, just because, like, you know, the type of life that he has, you never see that type. He's a very unique person, but just figured I'd say that. Hopefully, speaking of Goon, we can get him on next Friday episode.
Yeah, I'm hearing rumors that
hopefully you guys are looking.
I heard some rumors that Goon's gonna hop on. I don't know. Is that true?
And hope you guys are looking forward to that. Yeah. We still gotta like set that up and all that stuff, but thank you guys for listening and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this Fan Topic Friday episode, talking about traveling and the mindset behind traveling, and like what traveling does for you, what it does for us, what it should do for other people, and like why you should travel. Let us know what your guys' dream destination is to go to travel to. Ours is Japan.